let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah, she so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. She give me a bit of her love.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome to another one, man. It's your boy Rob One, and this is Sparking Conversation. And y'all know what I do each and every week. I get up here and I talk to some of the world's most interesting people. And tonight I'm gonna do the same thing. But before we get into that, y'all know I gotta do like I do each and every week, and give a big super shout out to all the people that download the audio version of this platform. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all from the bottom of my heart, because like I said, when it comes down to this platform game or this podcast game, the visual part ain't it. It's your audio. That's how you get to it. That's how you get to the back. That's how you move this thing around. And that's how you enterprise. It's not the visual part. This visual part, yeah, that help. That's an add-on, but that's not the meat and potatoes of your platform. I promise y'all. A lot of y'all, that's the reason why a lot of people, whenever they don't have a guest or something don't happen or something go wrong, they don't do their show and they can't stay consistent because they don't have the real, the idea of what it means to have a platform, right? Or to have a podcast or whatever you call a podcast. Anything outside of that, you got a TV show, right? So it's all up. But outside of that, all the people that download the audio version, thank y'all, because y'all all over the world. Y'all really want to hear what the guests got to say, and y'all keep it moving, and I appreciate y'all. So definitely thank y'all. Each and every week, I got to make sure I give that special shout out to y'all. All right, so it's the start of the week, and y'all know the vibe, man. We just dropped a brand new piece of content today. So, Ooblifted Part 27. Definitely, y'all could go to my page if y'all following me on anywhere. Y'all already know that most of y'all are. It's already pinned to the top of my joint. Just go check it out. Thank you to all the people that's already checked it out so far. I see it moving, and thank y'all, man, because that means a lot. Like I said, this is something that, whenever you believe in yourself and you put your effort into that belief, you do it regardless. So the fact that people do support it and do like what you got going on, it just helps and adds on to the reason why you keep pushing, right? So thank y'all for that. I appreciate y'all. Outside of that, y'all know the vibe. We don't wait, we create. Going down Saturday, August 22nd. We got the homie Vincent Ward from The Walking Dead in the building. Ocean's 11, The House of Pain, Devereaux. He got the new movie out right now called Stepdaddy. I'm saying the brother is working. The brother been in mad joints, and he will be here in the building chopping it up with all the people in the industry. And like I said, we don't wait, we create was put together so that all the people that understand in this little industry, right? It's a little bubble that we got as an industry, and everybody think that it's a separate path to their success, and it's not. The people who do movies need to be with the artists, because artists, your music need to be in the movies, need to be on the soundtracks. You know what I'm saying? Like that traditional way of trying to break your records is crazy right now. Unless you got that super huge bag and you want to go that route, do your thing. But outside of that, you should be linked up. People who got clothing lines, you should be linked up with the people doing movies, because they need gear in they joints, right? And what better way to market and promote your clothing line if it's in there? Models, the same thing. Get with clothing lines. If the clothing line is in the movie and the model is marketing the clothes outside and is a brand ambassador, that helps move everything around, not only the gear, but the music and the movie. You get what I'm saying? And all these different pieces is the reason why people are missing the mark when it comes to why their talent is so important to come together and share it. You get what I'm saying? But be a person that is about what you say you are. And that's all it is. We don't wait, we create. I'm just looking for like-minded people. That's it. Right? And we're gonna bring the industry to y'all, man. I've been working, and I've been talking to a lot of people who are really they're really serious about their craft, and they've been on the platform, right? So if any of y'all been following, I got the new segment called Convo Corner, and I've been talking to all these people, and I got more that's slated to come in different aspects, because I wanted to let y'all know right now we got the homie Donald Monroe. He will be in the building as well, your talent manager. Y'all go check him out at BX Fashion on Instagram, man. He got like 2 million followers. He be with everybody, you know what I'm saying? And it's so fly. Then it's his actual birthday. He gonna come through. He gonna chop it up with the people too, right? So I want y'all all to be aware that we're really, really putting this together. All right? And it's not a game. I know a lot of people do what you call networking events. I've been to a lot of them, right? And after the networking event, nothing really happens, right? People are not really as serious as they say when it comes down to this thing that they do. They'll show up, they'll take pictures, they'll do all the stuff, they'll give you their contacts and all their marketing material, but when it comes down to work, they not with the work. So that's why I say it's important to be with people that's like-minded like you, all right? So that way you could get to wherever it is that you're supposed to get, because we're not supposed to get there alone, right? I've always done something with a crew, right? Even though I had to do things on my own, I still done it with a crew. You know what I mean? Because that's the vibe, yo. You're not meant to get there by yourself. And everything that happened, I got there faster when I had more people with me, right? We also got Yessie Rod going to be in the building with the Slater Scene Acting Academy. So that's another thing. Y'all need to be in the building because, you know, she has a really dope opportunity for those of y'all that need to sharpen your tools and really get your skills together to be presentable, to be in these next level content and all this other stuff that's going on. So please, man, y'all know the vibe, man. Get your tickets now, all right? Get your tickets now at thecollectiveevents.net. Get your tickets now at thecollectiveevents.net, y'all. It's going down, all right? We don't wait, we create. All right, so outside of that, y'all know the same thing. Get the parasite cleanse. I told y'all, make sure, go look at parasites and the effects it has in the body. If any of you guys out there find out that these symptoms are certain things that you have dealing with, then you know the vibe. Click the link in the description. Get the parasite detox. Start taking care of yourself. Health is wealth. Nobody is coming to save us. I promise y'all. It's a lot of things that y'all be dealing with health-wise you think been passed down besides the fact of what you eat. If it ain't that, then it's a way for you to get rid of it. I promise y'all. So, boom. I'm not a health advisor and none of that. I'm just telling y'all to go do your research. And if it match anything that you feeling, there go. Click the link, get more information, and take care of yourself. That's the vibe, yo. Word. All right, so I got my guests hanging in the wind, but before we do that, y'all know I got to give y'all my rant because there's so much going on. All right, so much going on, and I've been few people been hollering at me, and let me see, Cam, salute, Cam, appreciate you for jumping in always, bro. Thank you so much, man. But yeah, listen, y'all. You know, last week we had the whole situation going on with the young lady Gwenny White down here in North Carolina. You know, they had the thing going on with the redistricting in Louisiana. And then now, you know, people are talking about the reasons why and all these other things, right? Because, you know, people are saying that they feel like they're trying to do what they have to do to not lose the primary that's coming up. Because they feel like the, you know, Republicans have just been wilding out and they know that people are going to probably vote more, you know, Democratic coming up or whatever, because for some reason people still think they're separate. I don't know why, but people still think that, you know, these people are separate when they all working together. But either way, so that's coming up. But I want y'all to understand something a little different. I think it's a little step further than that. I don't really think they're trying to get this majority situation going on just so they could function on the midterm. Y'all know that a certain percentage that of representation that they need, or of Congress that they need, where they can change the Constitution. Y'all know that, right? And if they continue to allow these redistricting situations to happen and get down to further states, then they will have that majority. And if they do get that, then you know they're aiming for the 14th Amendment, getting rid of the 14th Amendment. Now, I know a lot of y'all out there like, man, nah, it's 2026, man. Racism ain't that serious and all this other stuff. And people are not, and I'm saying I get it. I get why people feel like right now it shouldn't be, and it shouldn't be. But the fact that it is crazy. But why aim towards us like that, right? Because all other minorities that are here, the reason why you have what you have is because of the struggle that people who look like us went through in order to get these things going on. So what I want y'all to know is that when it backfire, or if they do get what they're trying to do and it pop off like that, it's going to affect y'all too. And we can see how everybody's being used right now, because even with what's going on down in South Carolina with the Asian Mr. Child, the Child guy, Rick Child, who was found not guilty for killing a 14-year-old boy after he accused him of stealing water. And then the investigation come to find out, little man ain't had nothing, but he was scared. He ran. You know what I'm saying? And people keep trying to, we talk about this all the time about the fight or flight when it comes down to being black or being, whatever we are considered in this country. The first thing they do is run, right? Run. But at the end of the day, people, the fact that the jury found him not guilty, you get what I'm saying? And each and every one of them said that he wasn't guilty of killing an unarmed kid that was running away from his store who did not steal. And then they was and they were prosecuted by the state. Now, how often, y'all, do the state lose cases? Like, we know that 9 times out of 10, the state is against you unless you really, really got those people with you. You're not going to win. And yet that happened. And so now you got all these people talking about black people against Asian people. Now they want to boycott all Asian people and everything else. Every chance they get to separate us, y'all, they do that. Because either way it goes, the Asian people that are here, it don't matter wherever you from. If you're not, I'm trying to tell y'all, it's going to affect you too. You allowed to be used, and then it's on every news station, every single news station. Now, the fact that it's on every single news station, but when that warehouse blew up in New Jersey and blew up in Florida, like, who was in the warehouse is not on the news anywhere over here in the United States. You got all these other countries reporting about all these soldiers, dead soldiers that's being brought back from fighting over there. It was going on, and all that other stuff that's going on with Israel and everybody else out there, man. All them soldiers that was in those warehouses when they blew up. That's not on the news at all. Why? We always got to get our information from people who are reporting from other places. Now, over there in where it happened, yo, they the ones that's reporting and getting the information out. And if it wasn't for the overflow of the hospitals in these two places where they had to close down the maternity ward, now y'all know when it comes down to women and having babies, you know they're going to tell it. If y'all going to go that far to make them say they got to go elsewhere to have their baby and they ready to have that baby right now, y'all know how that go. Them women was not going to stay quiet about that. And so they told it. And so that's how we know that all those hospitals was over flooded with these soldiers that they was bringing back. So what I'm telling y'all is that, and then on top of that, you got the company that's trying to buy up the rest of the news stations. He'll own like 67% of all news stations, and they saying to themselves like, yeah, we want to be the ones that report the news, the accurate, make sure it ain't just this going on and that going on. We want to make sure everything is true. And even the station that they own now is not reporting on it. So you already know what they're going to do if they go ahead and that deal go through and they go ahead and cop the rest of those joints and they get that 67%. So what I want to say to all of y'all, man, out there is that y'all got to be more aware and less emotional. Stop allowing your emotions to move you so hard. They're using every single tactic they can to keep us separated. Secondly, for us to be out here riding in the streets so they can continue to slide in the back door and create these laws and all these other things because cats ain't paying attention. So I just hope for the life of y'all that y'all understand what's really going on. They're really trying to take it back to a situation where they want to be in control of everything. They want us back in that place where we have nothing. And that's when we had the most, though. That's the craziest stuff. Like whenever there was segregation and all this other stuff, that's when we owned the most. That's when we had the most. Not now. Not now. We give the most away. We have the least amount because we integrated so much that all we do is spend our money to be a part of their system, and they saying they don't want us in there no more. And we continuously trying to fight to stay in a place that we're not wanting. Why? We can't leave this place because this is our house. And I know there's a certain situation where there's a migration going on where people from here want to leave and go back to Africa because they feel like that's where we came from. You know what I'm saying? For those people who feel like that part of you really came from Africa, I feel you. You want to go back there, fine. But I think y'all need to do a little bit more research and dig a little deeper. Because everybody didn't come over here that's here on no slave ship. I promise y'all. Yeah, but that's just on y'all to figure out. But outside of that, we're going to switch gears real quick because I got my guests and we got to bring them up. But y'all know I got to give y'all that rant each and every week because y'all asked for it. So there it is. But we're going to switch gears because we're going to talk legacy right now, right? We're going to talk musical legacy. We're going to talk creative legacy tonight, man, because that's what it's about. Whenever I talk to y'all and I talk to the audience a lot about being yourself, right? And being creative and not allowing, the outside world to tell you that the things that God gave you is not good enough to sustain you, because that's how I met this brother that we got coming on right now. It's just by living in your gift, yo, not being afraid to say, yo, I got these ideas, yo, I got to get them out. And then you search and you find, and the universe puts you in a place to find the best people possible to help bring that to fruition. And this brother right here was one of the best that we ever worked with as a group and as a soloist, I worked with him on both ends, and so many other people they have, but it's the quality of work that comes from out of the stuff that we've done. And I've gone and done so many things just off of the fact that I had those type of quality records. And to the point where these songs are still to this day are still rolling and still streaming. And you get what I'm saying? And people still are pushing play on these same records, right? Some of these songs is like 10 years old, 11 years old, People still listening to them like they knew. It's crazy. But look, let me bring the brother up, man. Mike BLAYZ in the building. Yo, what's good, bro?
What's happening, my brother?
Ain't nothing, man. Yo, long time coming to get you on the platform for sure.
Indeed.
Yeah. But timing is everything, man. And as everything that you've been doing, man, and have done and the whole nine, bro, this is the best time for us to have this conversation. So let's do this, man. For those people who may not know you, just introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are.
Man, Mike BLAYZ, producer, songwriter, engineer, manager, creative. I mean, pretty much wear most, if not all, the hats that come along with this what I'm saying, this genre and this venue of independent entertainment
Facts.
on the music facets of things. So, got a couple of few Grammy nominations now. Still waiting to bring home the bacon, but that's coming up. I just ventured off into managing now and started my management and production company. I had a label for a while, so I'm kind of starting that up a little bit, but on another level. And then from working in studios to having a studio where we just going create a different dynamic to what's going on right now with paying for service, paying for the service of music and recording and the production. You were saying some good stuff prior to, and I was listening. And you guys kind of been always next level and really about your business. I think that's what I admired, and why it was so dope working with y'all, because it won't just like y'all weren't whistling Dixie. Y'all had a team, and y'all really you cared about your sound. You did stuff to promote stuff. Y'all did parties. Y'all did videos. Y'all did a lot of stuff. So it was always a pleasure. I never minded us getting in the studio and working, because I already knew the other side of it was going to be something great, and we was going to put some great music out. So I always working with y'all, both as a group and individually too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always appreciated you, man. You know what I'm saying? Always being open to doing so too, man, because you know, a lot of people say this to me a lot, man, when they come here, that this is a really cliquish area,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so for a lot of times people don't work together because of them being a part of a certain crew or team
Mm-hmm.
and this, that, and the third and all that. And but you never been that guy, because you work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And what was so crazy was it that you work with industry cats as well. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I want people to really understand. Like, you didn't just have, what would be considered local artists in the
Mm-hmm.
studio. You had major artists in the studio. You're on major artist records and all of these other things, and still allowed the cats that was around to say, yo, when you need it, what day and time, you got this, and
Mm-hmm.
book it. But
Mm-hmm.
and get it in and out, and that's just what it was. And then even to the point where sometimes you might have to book a session in a different studio, and then, you know what I'm saying, make it happen, and then come back, you know what I mean, to your home base or whatever, but you
Yeah.
made it work. And so a lot of people didn't do that in the area. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what always made you special And I hope I'm speaking for all the artists that I know that you work with. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
That
yeah,
they
yeah.
could really relate to that because you
Mhm.
so many artists got some fly shit still to this day that could really go right now that
Yeah.
came out of that camp. Let's talk a little bit about your beginnings, man. When did you first fall in love with the creation of music? Or were you an artist first or always the musician part?
I was an artist first, I guess. Well, I ain't never say I was an artist. So I go back to the very beginning. The bottom line is I woke up to music. My dad was a musician. He was a choir director. He was also in a quartet. He so all just about all facets of the music from R&B to gospel or whatever he had a hand in. He managed groups. Um Several groups. He was in a group, from quartet groups to regular groups. He was in a gospel group. He recorded music. He produced music, the whole nine. So I literally woke up to instruments. Woke up, it was instruments in my living room, and I was with my dad at rehearsals, choir rehearsals. I was with him at rehearsals at the house. I mean, that was a funny story that he would tell. I remember one time, um, I used to during some of their rehearsals, with his quartet, I would record the rehearsals. So one night, listening back to the tape, they were like, like, who noticed that? Who was hitting that note? And one of his other partners, he said, "Man, I've been telling you, your son, the whole while he been singing the note the whole while we was in rehearsal." So, you know, um, so I just was raised on it, man. I never really, I'm gonna be honest, um, I never forget getting getting of coming of age and kind of starting to like girls and stuff like that. And when I realized that they liked singing, like that you could get girls singing, and that just blew me away because that's what I really, really did. I was in it. I mean, I knew the notes. I had Michael Jackson range or whatever. So I'm like, oh, so you can get girls singing? Oh well, yeah. Well, I really sing. Like the singing, y'all like them niggas ain't singing. Like I sing, like for real. So that's kind of what started it. Kind of me being the artist side, but it was nothing I took serious. I just always been a part of the creation. I always loved music, loved seeing it be created, love hearing the creations, and that's just what started me on my journey, man. I think me and my I had some partners that we used to sing with. We used to turn out pep rallies in high school, the whole nine. And my partner, he had most of the equipment at his house, so we would go over there. But after a while, we all just got tired of waiting on people. So I started picking up a little bit here and there, and other than that, we just I just started wanting to, I just started just kind of tinkering around. The crazy stuff about my pops, man, he never wanted me, he never would teach me anything because he wanted me to learn classically. Like he wanted me to learn notes and real live instrumentation. He wanted me to learn that because he understood that was pitfalls that he was running into. He didn't know how to read music. He was
Right.
so he wanted me to really go and get some real training. Yeah, he wanted me to go and get some real training. So I remember one time he came down and I was playing the piano. And he looked and he was like, "Where you learn? How you learn that?" So it was just a gradual progression, man, and to the point where I started just tinkering around to be able to get what I wanted to hear out. Saying from singing, and then once my voice changed, man, I lost my it was like kryptonite to me. I lost my superpower. Like I literally had Michael Jackson range. That's what I used to stick my chest out. It won't nothing I couldn't sing, and just straight falsetto. I mean my tenor sounded like a falsetto, and I mean go that range. I had range, and once my voice changed, once puberty hit, I was like, nah, I'm cool. I couldn't sing the way I wanted to, so I just was like, I'm gonna just concentrate on the music, and it just graduated from there, man. And so fast forward to me joining the military, and mind you, I'm just a little country boy from a high school, North Carolina. Ain't nothing right now today. If I would have told myself, if I would have told my 10, 11-year-old self, man, you gonna work with Big Daddy Kane, you gonna write for this person, that person, like I would probably I would have probably been like, man, this old man crazy, because I just wouldn't have never, coming from that small town, we ain't had no, it was no highway to that I could see that led to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So joined
Right.
the military, got started with the Soldier Show, and we had started opening for a lot of acts that would come from the states, a lot of famous acts, and built some relationships, got stationed in Georgia when I got back, and those relationships turned out to be very, very, very reputable, man. And I mean, that just started my first night in Atlanta. I was at Bobby Brown house with his sister Coop B and some more people, and seeing so. I mean, it was just crazy. So, you know, that those things led to me getting in and getting these opportunities, and my talents was able to show up, man. And I did a lot of great. I was still mesmerized at that time too, but
Right.
it's also let me understand that it can happen. These are people
Right.
just like me. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, they tell
Right.
you how they tell you sometimes don't meet your heroes. I was like, yo, some people that I looked up to because of their skills and talent turned out to be some of the wackest people in the world, like
People.
super
Yeah.
lame, you know. So, and
Yeah.
that's something that we do anyway. We attach character to position in our
Mm.
culture, and that's so far from the truth. Who you are is who
Yeah.
you are. And when you get a little bit of power or money, you become more of who you already
More.
were. So, these lames and these pedophiles and all these people we seeing manifest, they didn't just get that way because they in a position. They've been that way and they just was talented. That's all. Ain't
That's
nothing,
it. Yeah, man. And I will say, man, like for the most part, when it comes to that musician side, right, or the creation of a beat, I always admire that. So many people would say, uh, you should learn how to make your own beats. Like I heard that a lot throughout my career,
Mhm,
right? Because so
mhm,
many times I would come in humming and say, "Yo, can you play this
mhm,
bass line
mhm,
like this
mhm,
and that or
mhm,
whatever, whatever." You know what I mean? And then so it always came to that, but I always was like, nah, I don't think I should do that. I admire the person that actually hear that much of the music to put it together. Because I remember at one point, man, where, most of the beats that were being put together were samples, right? And then people would use the drum machine for the drums and stuff like that, or the ASR and all these other things, the sequence of drums and stuff like that. But they were chopping down samples. And so I come from being in the studio watching people do that. Like when you watch someone take something from 1955 and then
mhm,
you
mhm.
break that down and then they put the drum and then you like, yo, like it's just that thing. I just like, yo, just give me the beat. That's all. Like that was my thing. Just give me the beat. But I do get where you coming from, man. I just wish that all of us had those opportunities, man, to grow up with instruments in the house, right? I
Mhm,
think
mhm.
that's one of the things that all of the musicians that I've had on the platform so far have all said that they grew up either their father or their grandfather.
Mhm.
It was one or the other. They had the instruments in the crib, the
Right.
guitar, the drums, or a piano, right? Not so much a
Mhm.
keyboard, right? Because they
Mhm.
wasn't
Mhm.
really doing
Mhm.
it like that, but a piano. They said it would be in the crib. They grew up with that in the house. So to know that you guys grew up around it and actually you like learned it, didn't just because you know how many women or just people I meet in general, men too, who their parents or their mom or whoever is a great cook, and then they say they can't cook at all. It's like what? It's like wait, hold on,
Man,
y'all
listen.
eat like this and you don't know how to cook? That don't make sense. I would have loved it, growing up in a house with guitars and shit. Look, what and not learn it. That's crazy. So that's dope, bro. I like that, man. Because it was already in you, you know what I'm saying, from your dad, and that joint shaped you. So let me ask you this: when it came down to the engineering part, right? Because I
Mhm.
know that's a whole nother ear,
Mhm. Mhm.
right? How did you transition into that part? All right, so you create the beat.
Mhm.
Now you got the artist in there because you record singing
Right.
and rap,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
Um.
did that buzz come in? Because that's a different ear.
Natural progression because you get tired of people messing up your music, messing up your sound. um I always recorded with top notch guys. You know, I never recorded with people. First of all, man, like people got to understand that the most important piece of equipment in any studio is the one that's the least that don't cost a dime, and that's this right here. You can buy
Mm,
$1 million worth of equipment, but if this ain't right, man, that's you might as well be recording in a paper bag or something, because you know, hearing is everything. You have to have an ear, and you know, and everybody. I'm not saying what you can't develop, you know, but for the most part, being able to hear and understand, because I'm a more of a feel person. I'm not a numbers person. You know what I'm saying? I just don't want to if it don't peak and I gotta and it feel good, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I go to some of the more technical engineers, they be like, oh, you got the DBs to this, this should be panned this way, this should be panned that way. And then when they mix it, they'll lose the feeling of it. That's happened to me several times. So that's actually how I got into engineering. Um I was I had I was going to Osceola. My man Ian's my
mm,
brother. I love Ian. Love Ian, Dick, both of them.
yes, yeah,
I
man.
started. People started hearing my music after I left Osceola. They was like, "Yo!" But when I would send them to Ian by themselves, they was like, "Man, you took the feeling out of my music." Blah 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 blah. So I didn't understand that. But what I realized after a while was Ian was only pushing buttons. I was telling him what to do. You know what I'm saying? I was saying, yeah, can we bring the bass up? Can we do this? Can we do that? And I equated that with mixing, but Ian just was so dope with that Pro Tools, man.
Yeah,
He was
man.
he just was a monster. Like it was nothing that you could say you wanted to do that he couldn't do, that he
That's
didn't
right.
know how to do it. Whether it was,
Yeah.
you know, some days I wasn't able to translate because I didn't know the correct terms to say what I
Terminology.
wanted.
Yeah.
But he would be like, oh yeah, this, that, and the third. So from Ian to a lot of spots, a couple people out in Patchwork, and then
Yeah.
the home team, man. I call him Yoda. You know, he's the Obi-Wan assigned here, and that's Melvin Jacobs. He went by Nitro at the time.
Yeah. Nitro.
Melvin
Yeah.
Melvin has worked for Bad Boy. You know, he's
Yeah,
recorded
man.
everybody. He's done whatever, and
Yep.
that's my brother. Like he is
Yeah,
the
man.
saving grace. He is present day. He is the part of my sound that when the world hears it, that's why it sounds as crisp and
Mm-hmm.
as it does. I don't even I mix, but when it comes to him, I can, because it's hard sometimes when you're so invested in the music from the conception, from the
Right.
inception, from the conception. So like most situations I have thought about it, I've created it, I've written it,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes referenced it, recorded it, pre-mixed it, you know,
Yeah.
added the bells and whistles. Sometimes I just have gone as far as I can go creatively with the sound of it. I've done
Yeah.
everything that I can do. So sometimes I like when it's my music, somebody else's music is the same thing. Like when it comes to me, I'm able to do that with someone else's music. So
Right.
when you give me them files and you say, "Man, I just want you to do you," oh yeah, because I'm a producer, so I'm gonna mix it like I would do if I had made the beat.
Right.
So and that's what happens when I do my music and I give it to Mel and it comes back mixed and mastered and people like, what in the world? And I mean,
Mm,
that's just the way it is. So all things, man, I guess I would say I got into it because it was a natural progression of it. You know what I'm saying? Like making
yeah.
beats, getting into first being an artist, then getting into making beats. Now from making beats to getting into from to actual engineering, because man we don't have the budget that other people have. When
Gotcha.
I'm out in Cali, they got a recording engineer, a mix engineer, a mastering engineer. We don't have that kind of time and budget, and that for a lot of us don't. So we have to be all things sometimes. We have to
That's
operate in
right.
all those different facets. So
Right.
when we go out there, people are amazed at engineers and producers from the South because we can do everything, not because we was
Everything.
trained, because we had to.
That's right. And that yo, and everything you saying, because same thing with Ian. Yo, he is ill. You right with them Pro Tools. I remember before he even moved over to Osceola, he had to join in his crib. He
Mm.
had the studio in his house. You know what I'm saying? Off
See,
of
and see,
Wake
y'all know
Forest
I never,
Road.
I wasn't around. I hadn't got to the area yet. So everybody tells me they,
Yeah,
a lot of people be talking to me about that area. So that
yeah. I
area.
used to go. I go to his crib, man. He had the joint like on the second floor. He had like a spiral staircase, and he had the joint on the second floor. I used to go record there with him. And you know the thing about him, which was so dope, because man, yo, when he liked the artist, yo, he would make sure that he would tell you. He was like, yo, he used to call me like, yo, Ra, I got this time open. You, what you doing? You got anything going on? I'd be like, well, nah. He's like, yo, you got something? I'm like, yeah. And he, boom. It used to be that type of relationship, man. And then, you know, in Osceola too, I recorded over there when he was over there, and you know, I just in Nitro, man, like I recorded like I don't know how many records over there with him, and somehow a lot of these joints I don't even have access to no more. I recorded, but because it's been so long ago, you know, back then that's when we had the you know, everything was coming off on either CD, you know, or the DAT tapes, you know what I'm saying, and all that when I
Yeah,
worked with him. But I
yeah.
got a bunch of records that's out streaming right now that I've done with Nitro, and Nitro, and you know, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're right. That type of quality will set you up for greatness when you're around other people who take that part serious, because that's what they do. That's why I said I admire the person that does their thing, because if I do my thing and they do their thing, that's it. I don't want to be in
Mm-hmm.
everything, right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I never took into wanting to do beats, because I felt like, no, those people who got a gift to do beats, let me let God use them. Just let me get the beat. Because I sat there, even with you, like you can contest to this, man. We'll sit there for a long time. I remember sometimes I would get studio time and we wouldn't even record. We would sit
Well,
there
yeah,
listening for beats
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure.
till I found the right ones. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's another thing too, where I think that's another part of the game that people don't understand is the patience that you gotta have in creating music, because you know, trying to find that right or the beat that's going to match whatever it is you feel like is inside of you, because you're not making the beat. That's one of the
Y'all
hardest
had some
things.
incredible ears for beat. That's that y'all were top. Y'all probably top in my top five of people who picked good beats. That's important. Y'all definitely. I don't think I never heard no banger that wasn't. I mean, beat wise or whatever. Like whatever y'all did on it, whatever anybody felt the beat. Y'all beat picking joints. Yeah, y'all was top notch. Y'all had some of the greatest ears for music, for beats, for picking beats. And that's and I work with all of y'all, almost all of y'all individually as well, and all of y'all
Yeah,
possess that quality, I guess, because as a collective, with Team Collective being so close knit for so many years, maybe whoever had it the most, it rubbed off on everybody else. But all of y'all had dope ears for picking beats, bro, all of y'all.
yeah, man. I think the thing that helped me was always trying to see the visual, even if the song wasn't recorded yet,
You did have that ability. and
right?
and and that's how and what's crazy is I think that's the thing that I saw in you the most. I think you were always the most visual of everybody at one time, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how I made beats like a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the Maintenance Man,
Yeah,
that was a movie, I
right.
made that beat like a movie, and what you guys did to it helped me see the vision after the creation.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that was really dope. I was like, okay, yeah, they did exactly what they were supposed to do with
And
that.
that let you go joint. We did that.
Ooh,
Like all
yeah,
those
yeah.
different joints that we did as movies. Like I did the videos as short films, right?
Mm-hmm,
That's that,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
that's why when you said that natural progression from one to the other, that's how I saw the progression of myself wanting to get into the whole fact of doing film or filming in
Right.
that capacity, because I would take the songs that we had and we would do short films with them versus just doing regular music videos. And and I think that's what gave us the opportunity to be in this space right now, right? To be able to still be active, but not having to chase. it like, we still trying to run around and be something, it's like the natural progression. If anybody was to go back and do their research, they will see like, um we're still in the same lane using music now for soundtracks and stuff now,
Those those
when you
uh
see.
those those songs still bang, and I think that's another thing too that I learned at an early age. I always knew that if you concentrated on making timeless music, you never have to worry about being relevant. Um, I've always never. I think I've only, and even as a person, we spend too much time with worrying about whether somebody gonna like they can't use me, they can't use me. I worry more about being useful.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
man.
saying? Like I never worried about somebody using me in a bad way. I worried about being useful. Am I always going to be able to be in a place of sustainability in my passion in my craft? And I think I have. I think I've grown every year,
Yeah,
from
man.
studio to studio, in different elements, different facets. You definitely gain and you definitely lose, but that's life. Though the
Yep.
important thing is, just like Nipsey said, man, my story ain't different from nobody else's. I just didn't quit.
That's facts.
I just ain't
That's
quit,
facts,
man.
bro. And
Yeah.
that's the flyest thing because y'all, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, whenever you believe in yourself, man, it comes with that sense of almost like what most people would call delusion, right? It comes with that delusion because you're saying to yourself, nah, yo, this shit is dope. I could this I'm gonna do. And it doesn't take, because a lot of people are not doing things because of validation, right? It's because they have a circle of people around them, and if they don't all agree, then something is not done. But very seldom do people get that thing that they get inside of them that they didn't ask for, but it came, and it's like, yo, no, I got to do this. Because another thing that helped me realize that too. Did you see that? You saw the Michael Jackson joint yet?
Yes.
I bet. So you seen the part whenever he was like, "Yo, um, whenever these ideas hit me, I gotta get it right now, because if not, I'm afraid God gonna give it to Prince." Because
Yeah. Yeah.
I broke that down, and and it
Yeah.
was like, yo, he was saying that no idea is actually ours. It's just given to us first. It's like
That's
who
right.
taps in,
That's
and the
right.
universe is going to get this energy out, and it just
That's right.
depends on who's going to be the person that's going to get it out once it hits them. And that's how I always been. It's like, yo, do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then so that's what I kind of like when you say you lose and you gain, that's how you lose people, right? Because people don't
Mm-hmm.
move and you move, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so then now people think, oh, that's all you think about. That's all you want to do. They don't understand when that thing hits you, you got to move right then and there. But then you gain people at the same time because once you make room for the right people. So that's why I say so often that people don't understand in the realm of being creative, the things that you're going to lose are going to be things that you really felt like at the time is important, right? That's what made people quit
Yeah,
believing in
man,
themselves.
so many times people been right there and they just stopped just before their big breakthrough. You have to be diligent and you have to be unmoving, but more than anything, you have to be disciplined and obedient, and you have to be someone who once you're moving like in a very divine way, your steps will be ordered a little bit differently. As I got older, I understood that my grandma and my mom who always preached God. I was in church all the time growing up. I'm a PK, but not a I'm a grand PK, on both
Right, right,
sides, you
right.
know what I'm saying. So my parents were PKs on both sides. So they weren't in the actual soil of it, but I was in church. I grew up
Yeah,
at church
yeah.
every Sunday. You know what I'm saying? And both when I would go visit all my grandmothers and grandparents. So um, I think the foundation of understanding that there has to be something greater than yourself that allows you to take you away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like the daily battle of the flesh and the spirit is very, very real because
Right.
you can. We wake up every day and have a choice to make. Are we going to move in the flesh or are we going to move in the spirit? So um and that doesn't have to be as religious as it sounds. It just
Nah.
has to be whether are you going to move righteous or are you going to let emotions and ego and pride keep you from what is rightfully yours, or what you really actually seeking in life?
Facts.
So we have a hard time abandoning that, man. I if I hear uh I hear another sob story about how somebody didn't do right by somebody else, and how this person got me effed up and blah 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 blah. Man, listen, man, you can't stop what I'm doing.
Facts.
Ain't nobody ever been able to stop me. No one. I've only stopped myself. Ain't
Yep.
nobody ever been able to stop me from what I wanted to do. And when I done it, ain't nobody done it like me. No one.
Yeah.
So, and it's just, we are the best versions of ourselves that'll ever be. When
That's
we are the
right.
best versions of ourselves, we are the best versions of ourselves that will ever be. There will never be another raw one to do raw one better than him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's not
Yes,
another
bro.
Mike Blaze that's gonna do Mike Blaze better than me. So
Facts.
I'm seeing to that, and then it becomes a great I love what you was talking about our health, man, because we don't understand how. I hate when people say that these diseases are passed down, it's hereditary. What's hereditary is the practices that cause the diseases. The diseases, we can
Mm.
we can stop the disease at any time when we do what we're supposed to do. Our body has an order to things. God made us to work a certain way. When we go against that work, it's when things get in what they call disorder. Because
That's right.
we are not eating the way we're supposed to. We're not exercising. We don't even breathe right. Half of us don't even know how to literally breathe right.
Right.
So these things, and then there is a deliberate attack on everything that we do in life because of who we are and what we represent to the powers that be. You know what I'm saying? And then we're in
Facts.
America where there is a business surrounded by our demise, from
That's
health,
right.
from everywhere. With this, this country, a lot of countries that are most profitable countries, they don't people don't their constituents, they don't pay for health, health care and education, because any person with common sense understands that a healthy economy starts with healthy people. The
Facts.
westernized culture preys off the unhealthiness of us.
That's right.
So,
That's
and
right.
that's just a fact. So I don't want nobody come. I hate when people come and tell me, well, let's say right here that this is good for this. Ain't nobody gonna tell you how to not feed into this $1 trillion industry of unhealthiness that you part of. Nobody
That's
gonna
right.
tell you how to get yourself out of that.
That's right.
So,
And it's a fact.
so those things, man, I've those things all come back to the creation of music. Not to get off topic, but those two, for me, it's all coming back because I've never been more creative. I've never been more insightful. Um,
Right.
I never wanted to get into management because I wasn't comfortable being responsible for somebody's career. But now it's effortless to me because I'm in such a place where the moves I make are the right moves. Period.
Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing the
Yeah.
results immediately. Team I'm building is people that God sent me to or sent to me. So,
Yep.
and it's playing out in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
playing out in real time. People coming back to me, man. I see what y'all doing with such and see what you doing with such and such. I know you do, and it's just gonna keep getting better, and keep getting bigger, and keep getting better, man.
That's right, yo. Cause you got that's right. You work with so many in the area that the people you working with now, we're gonna get into that in a minute though, they
Hmm.
deserve that blend that comes with the fact that, okay, not only am I able to use my connections, right, to keep us moving forward, to get us further as what you do as an artist, I'm also in the studio with you. I'm also to make sure that we get these records, that we got these joints, and that's what's the most important. That we gotta have these joints, no matter what. Our clip gotta be loaded, and you can handle that on both ends. It's not just like being a manager, right? Just making calls and connecting those type of dots, but actually being in that position to say, "Yo, listen, no, we got these records, and I don't worry about it. We got the record," and that's so important too, man. And a good thing about what you're doing, bro, is that with your transition, you know what I'm saying? It for those people who've been following you and who know you, they see that progression in a way where they can understand it's undeniable. Nobody should have anything to say in the lines of this. Oh, now he oh now he or now
Mhm.
this, oh he,
Yeah,
oh so he don't,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Because
yeah, for
that's
sure.
all the stuff that come back from me. And it's like, yo, they say, oh now he this and now he that. And it's like, damn, no, I always been this. I don't understand. But that's the type of vibe that you get from people who want you to stay just right there, what they know you from, right? They know you from doing this. They were like, oh, now, and then, but when they see the results, it's like, yeah, you can't, you better not say that out loud. Because now, whenever you say that, now you seeing what's going on out here, you gotta, you eating your words. You gotta stop playing with yourself. And people will do that in a heartbeat, bro. That's why I'm glad that you didn't announce none of that. You just showed up with everything popping already.
Yeah, I mean, would you know what though? As like you say, it's been. I'm not afraid to do that too. I could have made a movie about it because it was nobody could stop it. I could have said,
Facts.
I'm getting ready to go into management now. I could have said, I'm getting ready to start my label, or I'm getting ready to do this, or I'm getting ready to have my own studio. I could have said all of that because there can't nobody and nothing nobody could have done about it. You know what I'm saying? But
Facts.
I
Facts.
I get when people say, man, don't tell your business. People will pray for your downfall. I understand, but if people are pray for my downfall, ain't got nothing to do with the person that I pray to. So, I don't
Facts.
it's cool. And I don't even carry myself, man, like I don't want any problems with anybody, bro. I want
Facts.
everybody to win. I think
Facts.
that I heard you say something about going back to Africa. I think that, Marcus Garvey and all of our earlier pioneers, I think they were so big on divestiture because they understood that the powers that had come to be here, because we were in power first. Don't get it twisted. But the powers that had come to be here were not gonna ever allow us to get our just due here. So come back home and feed the soil of where you were birthed from, instead of going out here fighting for shit that these people don't want you to have, that you pretty much they took from you.
Right.
So and I understood that, but you're right that we are, we are the people that deserve to inhabit this land. We deserve everything that we can get from it. Um, so because we
Yeah.
cultivated it, it's ours for the taking. It's ours for the keeping. It's ours, period. So, but I also
I'm with
understand
it.
that, it's some battles, man, it's at the end of the day, we have, a nice little number's been run on us. You know what I'm saying? And coming out of the darkness into an awakeness is a hard pill to swallow. And some of us, and this goes, and I'm only saying this because it's back to where you're talking about how about people just choose to see the worst in you, because it's the
Right.
hard pill to swallow when you wake up one day and have to deal with the fact that everything that you thought you knew is a lie.
It's a
From
lie.
from from grandma to great grandma to daddy, mama, because they didn't know any better. So it's a hard pill to swallow when you have to embrace that, because now it's a responsibility that
Right.
you
With the
have
information.
to do something.
Hmm.
And some people just don't want that responsibility. They more content with we have a real to me, I say destitute because I hate it, but we have a real destitute affinity for mediocrity. We like
Right.
we like toeing the
Just
line
mediocre.
and
Yeah.
living above the we like living we're living below the bar. Man, I don't exist there, so I don't really have a way to. I did for a lot of years of my life, taken away from what I knew the creator wanted for me and what I even wanted for myself. But after
Right.
that, man, we gods and goddesses for real. So even
Facts.
that king and queen stuff, we don't play with that. That's some European
Nah.
shit. We ain't never did that type of stuff. I mean, literally, we gods and goddesses, like for real.
Facts.
So um so I've always wanted to be in a position to be able to access the higher parts of myself, regardless of what, even at the times when I knew I wasn't and I didn't know how to do it. I always
Right.
wanted to. So
Right.
now, with everything that I do, things I put in my body, the things that I read, the things that I take in, man, when I sit down at this keyboard, I already see where it's going. When I sit
Facts.
down and talk to uh, people for my artists, or when I deal with the with the stylist about how they supposed to look, or the PR, or this, that, and the third, we always it's we always see the bigger picture. Like we
Right.
because I'm not even here right now. I'm really on Mars. I'm not even in it. I just want to exist in this space for a minute to see how many people I could take with me. But I'm already gone.
Facts.
Well, I'm already gone. Most of us are. We just got to
Yeah.
get out our own way. And we
Wait.
not, man.
Exactly.
I exist somewhere else, man. And I mean, and I'm not. It's been a long time since I was bold enough to say that
Yeah.
because of it being so taboo. But that's a lot of reason why people want to for people to acknowledge the best in you. Then they also have to acknowledge
The
the
worst
fact
in
that
them. Yeah.
that's right. Or the lesser part of them. We all got the same 24 hours,
Yeah.
and that mirror for some people is dangerous because, you know, we have a choice when we see that mirror. When we don't like the reflection, we got two options. We can either break the mirror or change the reflection.
That's right.
Some of us are breaking the mirror
That's right.
because we don't want to own up to changing the reflection.
That's a back.
So,
That's a
for
fact.
me, changing the reflection was therapy. It was, stopping crazy alcohol consumption. It was mending some
Mm.
fences. It was saying some I'm sorries, saying some forgive me's, and what I'm saying, repairing burnt bridges. It was a lot of that.
Yeah,
It was
bro.
it was it was owning everything that I had done to be in my own way. So
Right.
and I've done the work, and I ain't better, but I'm the best me. I'm a better me. I ain't better than
Yeah.
nobody, and I'm a better me. But I will say, if you are continuously putting crap in your body, you won't exercise, you won't read anything positive, you're steadily tearing people down. I'm way better than you. I'm better than you. I'm way better than you.
Yeah,
So,
bro.
and it ain't because I want to be. It's just because you allow it.
Because
So,
you allow it, because you
yeah,
won't
because you
take the
allow it.
necessary steps. Yeah. And
And
you're
no
right,
one's better
man.
than us unless you are doing things that are contributing to the demise of yourself and other people. Then people who are elevating higher, what I'm saying, who are you know operating their higher self, they are better. They just the facts.
No, you're right. Everybody that operate in those three spaces. First of all, mentally, and then their physicality, right? By being in the gym and working out, not trying to take the fast way, because you understand that, you know, actually putting in the work, it gives you a lot more benefits than just the way you're gonna look, at because of you working out. And the next thing that you said spiritually is having faith enough to believe in the gift that you was given, because that's the point that I think a lot of people, I don't want them to miss out of this conversation, was that, between the both of us here, living in your vision, it's one of the most scariest but the most fulfilling things that you could do in your life, because you're living something that no one else can see. You can't show it to them. It got to be done in order for them to get it, right? And so often we have been creatives, and we like to tell people, like, to try to help them get the vision of where we're going, and then they just can't see it because it wasn't given to them, right? So living in your vision is something that is just one of the most scariest things, but it's the most fulfilling once you see the completion of it. So you're right. That's what makes us gods and goddesses, because God created. And if you think about it, everything started from a thought. When we read the way that everything started, he said
Mhm.
create, he said this, he
Mhm.
said that, he
Mhm.
did,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
was all
Mhm.
thoughts. So for us, we got a record or a film or whatever we do, it starts as a thought. And then when it comes to fruition, before it even makes it to the video, just the fact that it's recorded, it's like we created that off of a thought. So to say that we're not gods and goddesses is crazy, because that's what we do. We might have the lowercase g, right?
Mhm.
but we
Indeed.
but we still are that, because we create, and it comes to life what we think. And so that's the superpower. Most people don't equate us to having that superpower, because we're the best that the world has to offer. It's not a better nothing in no other country in the world that didn't come
Mhm.
out of here. It
That's
doesn't
right.
matter.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying? So that's how I say it. I feel like the story has been told to us wrong. Places have been rearranged, and
Oh man.
we didn't come from, where they say we did. But that's another thing. That's another show and all that
Right.
other stuff. So we ain't gonna go that far. But before we get out of here, man, let's tell everybody who you're working with right now and what y'all got going on and coming up.
Man, I got a few things popping. I guess the most visible right now that everybody sees is my artist Mula Muye La
Hmm.
Bouche. She's formerly Tish Songbird.
That's
Everybody
right.
knows
That's my
Tish, and
girl.
we have given Tish Songbird a complete overhaul. Um, and where she's doing her own inner work, and I'm trying to help with that. Well, I'm doing the outer work, and we have a crazy team, man. Shout out to B Nicole, our PR. Shout out to SOH Entertainment, my brother Tone for the media marketing and media management. Shout out to my brother, my right hand man, Bread, man, who's just he's the safety of the crew. Whatever we need done, he's gonna do. Banky, who's been managing Tish for a lot of years too. He's on the team.
Yeah.
Shout out to her stylist, Miss Kiki Jones, a personal assistant, and pretty much the heartbeat of the Mouye La Bouche brand, and that's Charlene Monet. Um, Man,
Hmm.
it's like I said, all of these people, man, have given their skill set and their time to a belief in something, and that something was a vision I had for my sister to be the superstar that she is, and it's
Facts.
coming into fruition, man, with the music, with everything. So she also has a deal situation. Shout out to GSR Entertainment,
Hmm.
Orlando Jones, the actor, who's behind that, along with Karen and the rest of the GSR crew. Um, yeah, so that's really it, man. Mulat, the album is coming soon. The label's they're gonna release the album. So we just gonna be keep building the brand. Believers, man, believers only. Believers only is an umbrella that I operate under now, because that is really what it takes. A lot of us have a team of supporters, but not a lot of believers. Belief is what
Right.
moves the needle. You know what I'm saying? Like when people
Yeah.
believe in you, like perfect example, you might have somebody that's gonna say, if you throwing a party and you say, yo, y'all come through and fool with me, you might have 25, 30 people to show up. But when somebody say, yo, a podcast that I can get on, somebody that rap, they ain't gonna mention your name.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't believe. And or sometimes they just hate. It just be straight haters. But belief moves the needle. When you believe in something, or when someone believes in you, they take the extra time. They go the extra mile. They'll spend the extra dollar. And all of
That's
these
right.
people, man, these are believers. So that's why this is for the believers. So her rise and her plight and her makeover is strictly for the believers. They are for believers, people who believe in her, who have
Facts.
believed in her, and who appreciate. I look at a lot of the comments when we post stuff about her. The thing that is synonymous with almost 80 to 90% of the people is, you deserve this. I'm happy for you. It's
Exactly.
time. I'm glad to see
Yeah.
this for you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah,
happy for
man.
her for that, man. So
Me too.
um, you
Yeah, because
know,
she's amazing. She's an amazing person outside of the music. She has done so much work with me. I mean, like, it's just nothing that I can't say that she's not that. You know what I mean? So that's why I support everything she do. You know what I mean?
for
Anything I
sure.
see, I'm on it. I'm commenting. I'm liking. You know what I'm saying? I'm sharing because, she deserve it. And you're right. I'm as part of that 80%, 90% or whatever. She definitely deserve it. She put on for this area for a long time. She kept those clubs hot when they needed live performances and live music. She just, oh, and then she got her own sound, right? As far as vocally, and she be in there, man. She give it to you, man. And I'm just proud of her, man. And I'm glad that you and her and the whole team is just rocking and making this thing, that whole shit move, man. Because y'all deserve it. And to be honest, all of y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Banky,
Yeah.
he been around for a mad long, and he's been believing in her from the beginning. So I'm just glad to see that he's still on the squad, and and everybody else you mentioned. I just,
hmm hmm
yo, y'all deserve it, man. And so I'm a part of
Shout
it. So I'm
Shout
gonna
out,
have her
shout
on the
out, and shout out
platform.
to you for that. Shout out to you for that support, man. But y'all, you've been there for a long time. You've been there for a lot of artists, and you came by the Ciroc joint. Never, I don't know
Yeah,
too many times that y'all haven't, you personally, but y'all as a team too, man, have always supported anything that we've done any just a lot of the artists anyway. You know, y'all got
Yeah.
features with some of the y'all go back with a lot of the artists that I work with and our own stuff. So that's really man dope. And so salute to y'all for that. Salute to you for that and what you're doing with the podcast, man. I'm appreciative.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me on, man, and all of that. But like I say, man, we got Mouye LaBouche, we got Mullah, we got Annie Adams, of course, my family career.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's got a she and Gab just did a project called Open Energy, and we just did a Southern Soul record. So this summer, man, we're gonna go crazy. We got Josh Harris, who was one of the he actually was a co-producer on Throat for me for Mullah, and
Gotcha.
he's got an album about to come out. We got Teron Parks. Shamika Shantae and I got a banger called Good Man that we ain't even promoting yet, and them United Masters numbers is be coming back. Like I'm like, oh y'all are liking that, so we gonna have to get that some attention soon here. But she got her own thing going on, but just the family, the crew, man, we just gonna keep pushing and keep doing things. The management company, the label, the we doing we got the spot Halo, I'm sorry, Exhale, right beside the studio. um my brother Kenny Golder, he's got a lot of dope from real estate to bail bonding to whatever. I mean, it's so much stuff going on. But Exhale is a really dope intimate lounge, cigar lounge that we have, and that's we getting ready to start blowing up. So, I mean, it ain't I can't man. It's we ain't just I don't know what we doing daily. We doing everything. So
Everything,
it's
right?
just yeah. But I saw management, believers only, Mouye LaBouche, Annie Adams, Teron Parks, you know what I'm saying? Just I mean everybody, man. So we just
Just
we
keep
just we
pushing.
just doing some yeah. Joshua Harris, Spade Music, you know, more shows. Um, we also and this is the thing too. I do want to say this. These are businessmen. You know, the artists that we work
Right.
with, we are making them businessmen. These people, they have their own companies, they have their own publishing, they have their own they own their name, the merch, everything. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we're doing that type. We're empowering financial literacy, you know what I'm saying, and financial
Facts.
independence too with everything that we do. So it
Facts.
ain't no, we not missing the mark on nobody, man. We're not missing the mark. We
Facts.
we, we want to operate as a business. Sometimes you can't get to the next level because you're not ready for it. Not because you're
Right.
not talented enough, but because the universe hasn't you haven't prepared yourself. You still moving and
Right.
acting like you want to be, like you want to record. And this is something that I had to teach, that I had to get Tish to understand. Look, we ain't doing no more of these open mics. This is not you moving still like you want to do open mics. I got stadiums and stuff in store for you. So if you still want to move like these open mics, we can't. That ain't. I'm not on board for that. So which is
Yeah.
which is why which is why I wanted to do the whole name change, the whole everything. Like we gonna Tish Songbird has taken us as far as we gonna go. We salute her and we give her her props and just do for all the years you've been holding it down. But now it's time for Mouye LaBouche, and she's out of here. We going. We've done the Tish has commanded the local scene for too long. Now it's time for Mouye to get us to get us the rest of the
Get
way.
rid of graduating. That's it, yo. So look, for all of y'all that's watching tonight, y'all know the vibes, man. I really appreciate y'all tapping in, all the
Indeed.
comments and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's what we talking about. And y'all make sure y'all follow BLAYZ, man. Follow everything that they got going on. Follow the artists and just follow the movement, because I know some of y'all that's watching is aspiring artists. Some of y'all that are gonna watch this playback, you guys have some type of vision about you and the creativeness, right? And like I said, BLAYZ is open. Like he got a bunch of new companies, and they working. So as long as you are serious about what you got going on, tap in. If he can, he will. If he can't, he will tell you that as well too. That's one thing about him. He not gonna play with you. He gonna tell you exactly what the vibe is, and and he gonna do it in a way where you can't really be mad. He's not one of them rah rah type people, man. He just tell you straight to the what the fact is, and just keep moving. So I hope all of y'all enjoyed this conversation, man, especially those of y'all that tap in, that know us and the history that we have, and understand that this was a long time coming, but we got more to come. You know what I mean? We got to get Tish on the platform and the other artists as well. And y'all know we growing over here, yo. We doing 80,000 views a month, so it's not like we not pushing the needle, all right? And y'all got to understand, it's only on the second year of doing the podcast, so we growing. So I just want all of y'all out there to continue to keep rocking with us and continue to keep, pushing and allowing us to keep giving y'all this great content. Indeed. So until next week, y'all know the vibes, man. Stay fly out there, and don't forget, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So on behalf of the team, yo, be cool out here, y'all.
Let's roll. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah. She so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick, yeah. Co-pilot on the passenger side, be so fly. Yeah. She so lit, we so high. Just me and my chick, yeah. Just me and my chick.